The most realistic option in terms of a star trade for the New York Knicks has to be Donovan Mitchell, who seems to be rooted in New York. The first step in that process has to be for an opportunity to present itself. And Donovan Mitchell may have given us that opportunity himself. According to reports, Donovan Mitchell will not sign an extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That opens the door for the New York Knicks to potentially trade for him. We're going to break down this report and see if Spida to the Knicks is inevitable. All of this and so much more today. But before we get started, guys, about 65% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed. We are so close to 4,000 subscribers. If you like content like this and love New York Knicks videos each and every day, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to turn notifications on so you get notified each and every time a new video comes out. And now, let's get started. Donovan Mitchell may not sign an extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers. All offseason long, NBA insiders from ESPN, Brian Windhorst, Tim Bontemps, to name a few, have been telling us that Donovan Mitchell may likely not sign an extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think we all kind of knew that because we all know deep down he doesn't want to be in Cleveland. He wants to be elsewhere. I think we all know where he wants to be, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But going to the report, according to Bleacher Report, Cavs and Spida's extension seems unlikely. Donovan Mitchell isn't expected to sign a new deal in 2023. And that's a report from ESPN. And according to Brian Windhorst, Donovan Mitchell is not expected to sign an extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers this summer. He's basically doubling down on his comments that he made earlier in the summer about Donovan Mitchell. But to his credit, he was recently asked about it and about Donovan Mitchell's status in Cleveland. And he doubled down on those comments. And that means a lot. It means the door is still wide open for the New York Knicks to go out there and trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers to get Donovan Mitchell. I'm not saying that has to happen now. I'm saying that has to happen at some point in time because I believe that trade is inevitable and also the most realistic on the table for the New York Knicks. If you look at Giannis made those comments about the Bucks because he wanted to put pressure on the Bucks to do more things around him so that way they could compete for a championship each and every year. Right now, nothing to be concerned about with Giannis and those comments. Let's go to Embiid. Daryl Morey. Period. I don't think I need to say more than that. OG Anunoby in regards to the Raptors. You got Masai Ujiri over there. That guy does not want to deal with anybody unless he's asking for everything and more. So you definitely don't want to deal with him unless he's asking for a little bit less than what everybody else is asking for. And with Ujiri, he's never going to ever ask for that. He's always going to ask for the moon. That's been his moniker each and every time he's tried to make deals. He wants to fleece teams. And I don't know about you guys. I don't want the New York Knicks to be fleeced by any team, especially not right now. So then that brings us back to Donovan Mitchell. Rooted in New York, ties to New York, loves New York, wants to be in New York. And oh yeah, in a recent interview, well maybe not recent, but a few months ago, he was asked in an interview, did he think he was going to go to New York? Did he think he was going to be a Knick? And he said that before he went to bed, he thought he was going to be a Knick. And when he woke up, he definitely thought he was going to be a Knick. But then obviously things changed and he went to Cleveland. And he said all the right things when he got to Cleveland. We all know that. But that doesn't mean he wanted to be there. That doesn't mean he dreamt of playing there. And that doesn't mean that he didn't want to be a New York Knick and play for the Knicks, play with Jalen Brunson, and see what could have happened there. And not only that, the amount of talent you could attract with Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell would be ridiculous. You could attract some big names because a lot of people would want to play with a backcourt of those two. Some people who are offensively gifted, who could give you a lethal duo in the backcourt of any NBA offense. You could put them against any single NBA duo and they would still be up there. That's how lethal they would be. You could give me that question mark on defense, but offensively, you can't make any arguments. They'd be one of the best duos in the league. The New York Knicks did try to trade for Donovan before when he was with Utah. Unfortunately, Danny Ainge, Leon Rose, they could never get a deal worked out. It was either one too many picks, one too many players, not enough players. It just didn't work. And I don't think it was ever going to work with those two. So unfortunately, he went to Cleveland and the New York Knicks did miss their shot. You could make the argument, why are they looking at Donovan Mitchell now, who's a little bit older now? He still fits the timeline, by the way, and he's still a lethal scorer. Just came off one of the best scoring years of his entire career. But even though some people are saying, why are you trading for him now when you could have traded for him before? Well, maybe now you could trade for him without giving up as much as you had to give up then. Maybe now the picks are less or the players are less. Why do I say that? Because I think everybody around the league knows if he doesn't sign the extension, he likely wants to sign with another team. And that team probably is in New York. And I would put a lot of money that that team is the New York Knicks. And if it is the New York Knicks, and everybody knows that, what leverage does the Cavaliers have? What are they going to say to other teams? Everybody knows he wants to go to New York. And if other teams trade for him, they're not going to want to give up a lot of assets because they know once he can leave, he will. And he'll probably leave and go to the New York Knicks. That's likely going to be the case. The unfortunate part here is that I still think the New York Knicks are going to have to give up players and picks because they're going to have to make the contract and the money work. So that means Cleveland is still going to get some type of package, some type of haul. They're not going to get nothing for Donovan. And I think that makes sense. We all know that Leon Rose does not want to overpay for anything or anybody. Star, all-star, whoever. He's not overpaying. But if he feels like he can get a deal or a steal for a player that can help this team elevate and take the next step, he's absolutely going to do it. And if he can get Donovan Mitchell at a lesser package than he was ready to do with Danny Ainge last summer with Cleveland, he is absolutely going to do it. Why wouldn't he? That would create one of the most lethal offensive backcourts in the entire NBA. I know defensively it would be a problem, but hear when I say this. I think Donovan Mitchell would be a more willing defender under Tom Thibodeau. And I think we all forget, coming out of college, Donovan Mitchell was actually a very good defender. And I think he can become one again. So I'm not going to take that out of his realm of possibility. And I really do want to see what that backcourt could look like. I'm not sure what a Donovan Mitchell trade is going to look like between the Knicks and the Cavs. But I'm sure that Leon Rose is going to push and push and push until he gets the package that he wants right and gets that deal done for Donovan. Because I'll think he'll be more motivated to work with Cleveland than he was with Utah to get a deal done. Especially if it comes down to picks and players. I think the Knicks have a lot of those to play with. And I think now is the time, especially if Donovan is not signing an extension and he's ready and willing to come to New York, especially to the Knicks. So that begs the question, is Donovan Mitchell to the New York Knicks inevitable? In my opinion, absolutely. Of course it's inevitable. The connections, the roots in New York, the fact that he wanted to be in New York, the interview that he had stating that when he woke up the next day, he thought he was going to be a New York Knick. Everything pointed in that direction. He was in New York for the entire offseason during the time when he was about to be traded. So we all know he wanted to be in New York. It is inevitable in my opinion. I think a trade does get done and Leon Rose swings it, so he comes here. I know a lot of people are hoping that he comes in free agency. Even if he does come here in free agency, all that means is you give up less assets, but you still have to make the money work. You're still going to have to get rid of some players in order to get Donovan. And I think in terms of a trade, if you're able to do that, you might be able to swing it where you're going to get some more assets back while you're able to get Donovan in that process. I'm not sure what those assets are, but you might be able to swing something like that if you're a Leon Rose. And if you can pair that with Jalen Brunson and you can do it at a bargain, you're absolutely going to do it. And that's why I think it's inevitable. I think Leon Rose is going to be motivated to get that deal done. I would love to see this move, especially if it's not going to cost too much. And then maybe you see what other moves you can make after you get a Donovan Mitchell added to the New York Knicks and see what other assets you have left remaining in that war chest after the trade is done with. I think that's another thing that's going to matter once Donovan's on the team. Notice I'm saying once Donovan's on the team because in my head, he's already on the team because it's inevitable. He is going to come here. Free agency or trade, he is coming to the Knicks. In my opinion, Leon Rose will trade for him and get that deal done. And that's the first domino. Once that falls, he is going to go to another star, shake another tree, and see who else he can pair with those two. And hopefully try to create a contender, a legit threat contender in the East with the New York Knicks. I can't wait to see how this all shakes out for Donovan and the New York Knicks and everybody involved. But all I got to say is, let's go New York. Let's go New York Knicks. The season is almost here. We're going into training camp very soon. We're going to be dropping videos each and every single day like we always have been. And not only that, we also have videos coming out soon with very special guests. Stay tuned. But until next time, Knicks fans, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.